Alrighty, I'll give it a second for anybody to filter in and you know. This is the last second to get up, grab something to drink, stretch, do all that other wonderful stuff. I'm excited. It's good to be back. It's good to have you all back.
Hi, it's July.
Oh, I should share the thingy so you guys can hear music if you wanted. That's what we did last time.
I put on a 90s rock anthem playlist on Spotify.
You all saw my playlist.
These was good playlists.
Yep, sounds good.
I would listen to my July playlist, but that's not only 90s songs, so.
Alrighty. Are we ready to start? I don't want to take up too much time.
Yes.
Alright, well then. Hello everyone. Do not adjust your televisions. This is the correct broadcast channel. Welcome once again to the Electric State. Okay. Hi. Thank you, July, for that.
You're welcome.
Throwing me off on my intro, but it's fine. Welcome back to the Electric State. This is episode 2 of our actual play. Very excited to have everyone back. I'll give us a chance to do intros and all of that other wonderful stuff. I'll do that first, and then we'll go over the normal routine where it'll be introductions, principles of the play, and then a recap of what happened the last session. That way, everybody will be on the same page. So, who wants to start with who they are and who they're playing today?
I can.
Alrighty.
Sorry, I was yawning.
I noticed.
Hi, it's July. I am also playing July. If you'd like, you can find me on Twitch at Hi, it's July. I also just sent a message in chat. And yeah, that's really it. Other than July is a junkie trying to escape the city. So that's it. Criminal. She's a criminal too. Haha.
Popcorn over to Dougler, because I heard them.
Hey everybody, I've been here quite a few times, so hopefully you'll remember. I am Dougler93. You can find me that on Twitter, Twitch, Blue Sky, even though I haven't posted on Twitter, Blue Sky, a very long time. I will be playing Joanna Cassandra Campbell. Ooh, that was harder to say than it should have been. She is the devotee feeling pulled back home. And I will popcorn over to Shay.
Hello everybody, I'm Shay, or Shay the Fae here on Twitch and PartyWipeGames. I am going to be playing Ashley Preston, the adult version of Ashley Preston here in the post-apocalyptic world. She is the musician, artist, game techie person, and she currently has her own little mission going on this little cross-country road trip back to Stillwater. Popcorn to Brian.
Hello, everyone. I am Sharptooth. I'm playing H4RVEE, or as we shall say, Harvey. He is a drone who is more environmentally friendly and is looking to make the world a better place, passively without humans. But we'll figure all that out a little bit more, and there's actually more to come with him. So, let's enjoy.
Popcorn Dorindas.
Are we popcorning?
I was muted. Hi, I'm Rindus, the storyteller. I will be running the game myself, the world, and all of the horrible things that they will be subjected to throughout this wonderful journey across a crumbling wasteland. Before we get too far into it, there's something that I found that I was trying to find before and couldn't, but I have now. And it's called the principles of the game. So basically, what this is, every time we play one of these wonderful Tales from the Loop, Things from the Flood, whatever type games, there are important details that everybody should be made aware of going into the story so that they know exactly what they're getting into. So, principle number 1, play to find out. Just as the mind consists of... What?
Huh?
I don't think that was for us.
I was gonna say, I can hear you.
No, it was something Brian said.
Yeah.
Just as the mind consists of connected neurons in the brain, your story forms by linking things together. The travelers, the destination, the stops, the threats, the tension among the travelers, and the roll of the dice. There is no predetermined course of events, hence the flying by the seat of my pants, and the end is never set. No one should feel responsible for making the game turn out a certain way. What happens, happens, and that is the game. That's important for everybody who is playing to remember.
Yes.
Number 2, the travelers are seekers. They are filled with dreams. Maybe they want a better future or just find somebody to love. They engage in whatever they encounter, interact with people, and try to figure things out. In the end, their hope may be futile, but at least they didn't give up. Number 3, the journey is the goal. Each traveler will have their own goal for the journey, but reaching the destination as quickly as possible is not the point of the game. In order to follow your dreams and overcome your flaws and play the game fully, you must interact with people and events you encounter at the stops along the way. Don't leave until the situation is resolved. Next up, the world is falling apart. Even though the war is over, Pacifica and the rest of the continental United States is about to collapse, or maybe it is already happening. There are signs of it everywhere. Abandoned buildings, people losing their minds and starving, groups of wandering enthralled by the neurocasters. The decay is ever present. Neuronics are everywhere. Even though the neuronic tech is triggering the downfall of civilization as we know it, no one is free from its reach. Not even the travelers. They often need to use neurocasters to reach their goal, taking the risk of losing themselves to the bliss of the electric state. And lastly, it's the 90s, but not. As the electric state is set in an alternative version of the 90s, your game should include familiar elements from that time, such as clothes, hairdos, music, and movies. This is contrasted with the neurotech, which is weird and outlandish. Make the most of these contrasts. The actual 90s is certainly a time of rapid technological change, juxtaposed with an older kind of life giving way to the new. This game amplifies that. So,
Woohoo.
important things to remember. And last but not least, before we begin properly, the recap. The recap basically consists of you all left San Francisco Memorial by way south of another city that we had originally decided during session 0, but had decided we were just going to fast travel the opening right into leaving San Francisco. there was a chance for all of the characters to introduce themselves and situate themselves within their trusty vehicle, and they picked their first destination, an abandoned amusement park called the Ivory Tower. When you all arrived at the Ivory Tower, you saw that it was more or less what you expected, in a state of disrepair and neglect. It seemed like nobody had been there in a while, or perhaps just not the traveling public as a whole had been there. There had been signs of people coming and going over the years that it had been closed down for the war, but amongst the graffiti and wrecked cars and debris, there's signs that maybe recently somebody had broken into the main entrance. You all had pulled your vehicle off and parked it somewhere out of sight, hoping that if anybody else had been following you or in the area, they wouldn't take notice of your vehicle rich with supplies. But you all had parked it, hid it off, and disembarked from the station wagon to make your way towards the theme park. So my first question to you all is, has anybody regretted this decision yet?
Hell no.
Not yet.
I am intrigued.
There's still time.
Well, nothing's happened, so
Nothing has happened yet.
Mhm.
All right. Who's stepping forward, and what are we hoping to do?
I believe, if we remember, there was a terminal that I could get into and try to access from last game. We were talking about there was a terminal that I should be able to access.
Oh,
last
absolutely. So let's set a scene for that then. You guys would be clearing the parking lot and walking up towards the main entrance. You would see the disheveled sign of the Ivory Tower, having lost a few of its letters along the way, and there is one of those admission booths. Several of them, in fact, but most of them had been blocked off with junk and debris, but one in particular was open. And Harvey, as you step forward, I believe the way your drone works is you more or less have a wandering kind of Wi-Fi bandwidth where you can pick up where neuronic points are. So as you're approaching this admission booth, you do see one of these stations where you'd be able to jack in and maybe be able to get some information or figure out how to best go about navigating this massive theme park.
All right, I'm gonna do that. You're all gonna hear that nice dial-up seed.
Oh yeah, you do get the wonderful AOL dial-up tone. That's for sure. Let me find your Neurocast.
You've got mail.
I could play that if you really wanted, but I don't think I'll bring back the youngins to that memory because they probably don't even know. Okay.
I know it.
Also dangerous as yourself. So when we go into the Neuroscape, there are 3 types of things you can do. Find information, user hack systems linked to the Neuroscape, such as drones or alarms, and interact with other avatars inside the Neuroscape, including attacking them. So,
I think I'm first going to try to grab some information. Is there a good park map?
Alright, so you're going to have to roll for us.
Yes.
And let's see here.
Now, how exactly do you roll this game?
It is going to be, I believe it's still 2d6, right, Dukler?
No, it's a handful of d6s. It's the
It's the d6s. It's the d6s based on your scores. So you would be going off of.
I believe it's Will, right?
Well,
To interact with stuff.
There's strength, agility, wits, and empathy.
you're doing it
Yes.
directly off the Neurocaster, however. So yours is going to be a little
Mm.
differently. And I want to say it is because it is not giving me a very clear. It gave me like 6 pages of rules for using the Neurocaster.
but you didn't roll.
Yeah, I just want to know which one is the roll. I want to say.
My guess would be wits plus.
I think it's plus the processor.
Yes. Hold on.
I got no Neurocaster, so I know nothing about this shit.
The last time I played this, I had a character who did not want to use a Neurocaster either, so this was one of those avenues that I didn't learn right away.
It's less that she doesn't want to and more that she just never got the chance to, and she's fine with her drugs.
So,
More information is back in chapter 2.
when you search for information using a Neurocaster, the GM or the stop text sets a difficulty from 1 to 3 depending on how rare, specific, or sensitive the information is. Difficulty 1, because it's going to be easy, because you're just looking for map information.
Yeah.
City maps and blueprints.
And that's- I was gonna say, that's pretty common at an amusement park to have maps.
Exactly. This number indicates the number of separate wits rolls that you need to make in order to find the desired information. The data miner talent gives you +2 dice. Also add the Neurocaster's processor attribute. There you go. So see, we were right on it. Wits plus your Neurocaster processor, or whatever it would count for as a drone.
All right, so it's a 9.
Oh,
So roll 9 dice.
roll 9 dice and you only need 1 success.
Ones are counted as failures.
Yes.
Curious. That's one caught. All right, so I can just do it.
And definitely roll it on Roll20 for us.
Nah,
You
it
can,
gets me. So, all right, so that's.
it rolled twice, but
Oh, I rolled twice.
it did. I'm gonna say the first one was a practice one because there were 3 failures in there.
Yeah.
But the second one still doesn't have any successes.
Did you also only roll 6 dice there?
Oh, you did.
Well,
only-
it doesn't let me actually. So I've actually got to go.
so
and hit.
you can do.
There you go.
Oh, well, there you go. You can actually just type it out too when it's more than the maximum number on the thingy. So you could tell it to roll 3d6. It's just /roll space 3d6.
Oh, so last time would have been a /roll 96, right?
Yeah, 96. But you have 2 successes there now that we have all 9 dice. So with an additional difficulty, I'm trying to see if you get anything for it. Typically, each dice used to find information inside the Neuroscape takes 1 stretch of time. However, if a roll fails, even after pushing subsequent attempts to find the same piece of information, takes 1 shift of time. Okay, we're not worried about that. So with 2 successes, you can ask for some additional information. I want to say, I wish this was laid out better, like it was in Things from the Flood.
I'm going to ask for, well, basically first the blueprints, but then I'm going to ask for the most efficient pathways, like such that the team members would use when they were working.
You want like the secret underground passages?
The Disney tunnels.
The Disney tunnels, yes.
If there's Disney tunnels, sure, but like the quickest routes.
So, opening up the neuroscape and accessing this this network for the Ivory Tower, you see that it is, well, it hasn't been updated in a while. It's still running on old programming, faulty programming, but you are able to navigate around it without much issues. Being a sophisticated drone yourself, you're able to cut through. I'm going to use a lot of imagery terminology and not actual computer terminology because you're in a mindscape and not really like the digital, thing. It's kind of a mix of both. So Harvey is cutting through a jungle of data, corrupted data, to find the information that's needed in the pathway. And what this looks like for the rest of you, though, is Harvey's eyes kind of shift into a color that shows that there's some processing being done. And not only, Harvey, are you finding the best route, but you're actually showing them as the group goes. You're caught in this this network. There's like your digital consciousness. There is now a fast pass genie band that materializes around your drone arm, and a little avatar of the animatronic lion is giving you a guided tour of the theme park, and it seems like it's a remnant of the old system that would be in place where people would have these bands and be connected to the neuroscape at the same time of being here, where there is a virtual guidance being seen through their eyes or Google glasses or whatever we want to say is their way of seeing and experiencing this augmented reality while being physically present in a theme park as well. For the rest of you, Harvey is walking along a path that is actually avoiding the worst of the debris and brush and overgrowth of the area, and he seems to be walking you all deeper into the theme park. You all are passing a number of buildings that seem to have been shuttered off, spray painted over, potentially broken into, propped open, from a side angle or something that would give people access into it. But you're not seeing any real signs of people. What you are seeing, though, is every so often there's a drone or a robot that at one point had kind of like the Chuck E. Cheese animatronic felt and clothing and stuff over it to make them look like walking mascots. A proverbial Freddy Fazbear suit, if you will, that has rotted and decayed to the elements. So where, these cute animalistic features would have rotted away from rain and mold rotting away this fabric, you see the mechanical eyes and parts of these now disheveled parts and robots. But Harvey is taking you all towards a destination, but along the way there are a number of shops and attractions that you all can veer off to if you really wanted to.
I'm definitely looking into them and on the lookout for people, specific people, or things I can loot.
Would you like to give me a roll?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see here. I want to say you're going to give me a roll as well. It is going to be One of these days I will learn the full thing. Just give me a wits roll, please. Because
Okay.
because unfortunately it is not just your intelligence, but your awareness.
Yeah, and I'm not very aware. A 3 and a 4.
Yeah. So you are looking around, and while you may be on edge looking for shadows to jump out at you, it doesn't look like anything is really doing that just yet. There's not much to worry about. You do spot a gift shop, however.
Less likely looking for things that will jump out at me. More so...
Looking for people that will jump out at you.
No, not even that. I'm looking for shady figures that I can buy shit from.
No sign of that yet.
Rest in peace. I did want to... Sorry, I was going to say check the cash register at the gift shop.
The gift shop's cash register, July breaks away from the rest of the group and ventures inside. Thankfully, theme park checkouts are usually stationed right by the door instead of all the way in the back, so she wouldn't be vulnerable to being separated for too long. But once she goes inside, you do see that a lot of the place has been ransacked, but the register is not open. You'd probably have to pry it open with a bit of force.
Oh yeah, definitely gonna do that.
All right.
If I have to, I'll smash it on the ground.
Well, let me get a strength roll for you smashing it on the ground.
Aww.
And after that...
Okay, here we go.
Yep, so that is going to be serious. Would you like to push before we give you any consequences?
Would I like to what?
Push. So basically,
What is that?
Basically, if you push directly from the book, if you fail a roll, or you just want more sixes, you can push the roll, grab all dice that didn't show a 1 or a 6, and roll them again. All dice count after that reroll, including the ones not rerolled. For each one, or the frowny face symbol on the custom dice, rolled after this push, your current hope score is reduced by 1. So basically, I think your hope doesn't go down for the initial failures, but if you roll any more, your hope health will go down.
I definitely will. I'll try and stomp on it next.
Alright, so you get 3 dice to reroll.
Not like that loud crash did anything.
Yeah.
Yep,
So-
got at least one.
So there is 1 hope damage that's going to be taken there. And then 1 success. That being said, however, there's 4 ones that will need to be addressed. And I need to see what happens when that happens.
I'm just waiting to find out what the rundown divergent security drones are going to come out looking like.
Yep.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
It's gonna be fun. Let's see. Where is the thing that says what happens? Is it just failures if it's the normal one? I think it's just failures, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
just
think
it
anything
doesn't happen.
happens.
Okay. So
It's just I feel like the second one would be
yeah, it's gonna be those other ones that are bad. So, Harvey, you may or may not hear this because you are so caught up in your task to process. But the other two, the humans who are acutely aware of their surroundings and not in the neuroscape, you hear the loud crash and the stomping of boot against metal as this cash register initially doesn't yield, but then after a slew of curses and another throw from July, it bursts open. July, what you end up seeing inside is a number of bills marked with a cartoon lion on them and several coins marked with a cartoon toucan.
Look at this shit.
It doesn't look like it uses real money here at the Ivory Tower.
Only Toucan can play.
Only two
Damn!
can play.
No!
However, underneath the money tray, there is a key.
Oh, cool.
Mhm.
I'm still cursing
Yeah.
and
So
literally being
it's-
like,
yeah,
God
it's
damn
not
this
a,
fucking
it's not a
place.
complete,
It's
it's not a complete
bullshit.
loss, but there is a
What
key
the
card.
fuck? But I do grab the key.
I do
Card.
want to paint the scene a little bit. Like as we're walking, being led by Harvey, there's something very nice about my Neurocaster is that I can still interact with the. I only have a -1 to actions in the real world, so I can still act in the real world. It says. But I get the feeling that I put my Neurocaster on just to get an idea of what Harvey is seeing and still being able to follow along before hearing that loud ring and like spin around and just see it. And just under my breath, I'm just like, it's been 2 minutes.
I feel like Ashley and Joe just share a look. Then look towards where July is. Okay. Yep. You all right over there, July? Any issues?
So
Yeah, this place doesn't use legit fucking cash. It's just this stupid Monopoly money.
Ashley is on high alert at this point, expecting something to happen, even if this place is run down, and looks significantly more nervous.
But I got this fucking key card or whatever. It might be useful.
anybody with a Neurocaster, please give me a wits roll. Or that's using their Neurocaster. Let me clarify.
Mine's in the car.
No,
Is it just a wits roll or the processor?
just a wits roll. Is it just Harvey using one?
I rolled mine.
Did you? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see it. I didn't hear the pingy ping of you rolling. I thought that was an old roll.
Wait, how many was I supposed to roll?
Your wits.
Wits.
Oh, so I was
Whatever
actually
number
supposed
you
to
have
roll
next to it.
6 dice.
Yeah, whatever number is your wits.
So I roll another 5.
Would either of you like to push?
Sure.
Yes.
All right, so it looks like each of you can roll. Well, Ashley can roll 4, and Harvey can
Ayo.
roll 5.
Huh?
You can re-roll 5 of your dice. Okay, perfect.
Very nice.
That's a much better result than what I had the first time. As soon as the cash register hit the ground, those of you wearing the Neurocasters, there is a exclamation point inside of a triangle that is flashing red in the top right corner. If you select it and you expands out in front of your vision, it says alert, security breach, attempted theft at gift shop number 5, and it says security personnel have been dispatched.
We gotta go. Now.
Can I use my hacker talent to kind of shut the alarm off?
Absolutely. I think so. So I think you have enough time to attempt that. So if you want to, please give me another roll for the Neurocaster. Roll with the processor plus your hacker talent. And I'm going to set it to a difficulty 2 now. So I need 2 successes.
I think hacking uses network, which I don't think matters because
You know what?
they have a 3 in everything.
Well, yeah. I think it is still...
So I don't really have a description of hacker. I just know I have the talent to actually say what
You-
the.
you get it.
You have the talent? Ryan?
Yeah, it's
So
under talent.
So the talents.
Hacking the network. Common task inside the Neuroscape is to use or hack into systems connected to them, such as drones, robots, security systems, and more, i.e. this.
Hey, yo.
So what it says is you get a +2 dice when using a neurocaster to hack into systems.
Okay, so I would get 11 dice.
Yep. And I need 2 successes from you.
Where's my typey type? Alright. So that was /roll.
Mm-hmm. Put a space and then the number of dice. Number of dice, D6.
No space in between those.
Still easier.
Oh, other slash.
Oh, yeah,
Oops.
yeah. Mm-hmm. It's the one by the shift.
/
//
And I think it can just be R.
That would also work.
Nope.
/R, not just R.
No,
Sorry.
you said just
It's
R.
I meant because roll was spelled out.
You know
Here,
what?
I'll get it.
Minus no, he has to be able to do it. Just take the first R out. You were right on all otherwise. There you go.
Hey, yo.
Hey, there we go. That
6,
was
6,
3
6.
successes.
Not horrifying
Oh.
at all.
Oh, no.
Okay. So it's 3 successes, which is just great. Difficulty, try and hack.
What happens when there's both of those?
I would think
The
the successes
one-
outweigh the fails. Like, if the successes meet the difficulty, then you just
Yeah.
succeed.
Well, that would follow along with the original ones too, so yeah.
Well, this isn't a.
I would think it would come more into play if, because it's difficulty 2, maybe if he had 2 successes and 3 failures, then it might be like, okay, maybe there's an in-between.
Well, in the previous games, it was if you succeed, you succeed, but there's a caveat.
And now there's a penalty to rolling ones.
Mm.
But it's not a ones cancel 6s though, right?
No, it doesn't cancel out.
Then it doesn't matter. It's just the 6s are all that I'm worried about. It's only when it's a 1 on a push that comes into play.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I was just more wondering if it was like you succeed,
no, there's no.
but here's the complication like in the previous games.
I wish, but no, I think in this case it is very much just you succeed. But that being said, you have 2 extra successes, which means you have some options. The more successes you roll, the better the result. In combat, it means more damage. In other situations, it could mean any number of things. For example, you show off, you do it quickly, you do it quietly, you achieve some unexpected additional effect. So you can pick 2 additional things that you want to happen on top of, well, 1 additional because you needed 2 successes. So,
Yeah.
would you like to do anything extra? Would you like to show off, do it quickly, do it quietly, or achieve some unexpected additional effect?
I will always go for the unexpected.
Alrighty.
And I'm going to turn to her and go, please don't wander off from the tour.
Once you have had the time to hack in and try to divert the security, you basically see on this digital map that would be the layout of the theme park, and more importantly, the section that you're in now. You see that there were 3 little blips that were fast approaching you guys from the northern side of the park. So basically, directly along the path, coming right at you. You see all 3 of them break off in a different direction and fly towards what would be designated as gift shop number 10 instead. And so it seems like for now, the security is moved elsewhere to try and find this intruder, thinking that July had smashed a register further away on the other side of the park.
Am I able to see about where those drones were coming from? If we see those of us with the Neurocasters see the red dots.
Yeah,
this was strictly for Harvey, who was hacking it.
Oh, okay.
Well, that was actually going to be my same question.
They would have come from the far northern side of the map, specifically. So basically, absolutely ripping off Disneyland for this theme park layout. You guys would be in the entrance town square, legally distinct pavilion walkway before it would open up into a donut shape, where there are rides and attractions framing this circle around a wide lake. And then on the far northern side would be what would be the castle, but is not a castle. It is a lone Rapunzel-like tower made of this what would have been a pristine white material, but has since taken on a more weathered brown, paint peeled, and vegetation overgrowth look. And it also has a slight lean to one side, as if the foundation was starting to wear away from it.
Pisa!
Yeah, it's very much a Tower of Pisa look. But it's very clear that the drones had come from that building. Also at the top of it, if you guys were just looking with your normal eyes, or even from what you can see from the Neurocasters, both of you, there is a sentry tower that is what is the central hub for the Neuroscape here in the theme park. So it is still projecting the Neuroscape from that tower.
Well, I'm going to lead people to the opposite direction of where I saw the security drones going. And I think we're going to go more of a back way.
What did you see, Harvey?
So the drones came from the main center area. They're going to a further area from where we are right now, but I don't know how long that's going to direct them. So I say we try to make some distance.
Here's the key card. And then I just hand it to one of them.
I'll take it.
You all see there is a wonderful ivory tower security pass, and what you see on it is that it says security pass. What's the word I'm looking for? It says security pass, and then on the back it says Maréchal.
Maréchal?
Mm-hmm.
Of course it does.
Oh, that can be quite handy.
We could probably get into the tower with this.
You're welcome.
So Not saying it out loud, but just so you're aware, Ashley's going to be on the lookout for high-end tech pieces.
Not saying it out loud, but so we're aware.
So the storyteller is aware.
I will only be aware if you make an awareness roll.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I was figuring we had to be somewhere, but I can do that
No.
now.
No. That is not how this works. This is, you guys are the driving force. Your priorities are yours. If you have goals and motives, you should be moving to achieve those. So please, if there is something you want, you roll for it.
July's just standing there with her arms crossed, looking annoyed.
Can I use the Neurocaster to search for active unit or active machinery that might have tech part?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's going to be the same roll that Harvey had done when you guys first got here. So give me a wits plus your processor.
And last question. If I enter the credentials with this key card.
It will not work that way.
Okay.
This is a door key. You have one success. Would you like to push?
Nah, I'm okay with this.
Alrighty. So, I love having to flip back and forth between all of these thingies. Let me find the Neurocaster stuff again. There we go.
Page 90, I believe.
Yes. Alright. So, I didn't set a difficulty before you rolled, so it's just going to be a difficulty 1 because all you're looking for is information. You don't have data miner or anything, right?
No.
Okay. So...
I'm resilient and empathic, that's about it. And music. That goes along with empath.
So... You are searching while walking. I'm going to assume that somebody is helping guide you while you're doing this because it's not safe to just be standing here with security drones actively looking for vandals. But as you're being guided along, you're looking through the various files and you find some information that kind of indicates that theme parks like this we're working on making sure that their animatronics could think and act independently, that once they had their programming of entertainment and keeping the children happy and safe and away from potential murderers, that, they could be just maintained once a week or however long it took them to clear their data banks, but otherwise they were set loose on the park to do their own thing. As you're filtering through this information, a particular piece of detail comes to mind and sticks out for you in particular. This particular brand of robots was patented and produced by Sunshine Industries.
Worst fucking bitch, alright. She does curse. She just mutters that.
The Arizona right, Ash?
Yeah, nothing surprising there, just the first domino.
Is there a chance this domino's gonna land on us?
The dominoes have already fallen.
You're the fucking bitch.
Excuse me, what?
I'm confused too.
You just called me a bitch.
I didn't, but okay.
Well, there was a reason you were muttering it under your breath.
I tap the Neurocaster. I'm seeing things you aren't.
Ah, so you're hallucinating.
Do you even know what a neurocaster is?
I've heard of it.
Have you been living under a rock?
If that rock is called poverty, then yeah.
Do you know what a flashlight is?
Okay, now you just think I'm an idiot.
I mean, do you rub sticks together to generate fire?
You know
I
what?
think
Fuck
it
you.
takes more talent than hitting a button.
You know what? No, fuck you.
How do you not know what a neurocaster is?
And how do you know what a neurocaster is? That's where the, you know, I know what it is. I just have never had one.
Then you know that this isn't hallucinating.
No, actually, I don't. I just viewed it as some type of VR type shit.
Yes?
But I thought you would have to be, like, plugged into something.
Are you living in, like, the 30s or something?
No, I'm not 30 years old yet. No.
No, the 30s, like... Never mind.
I just love how you're making me seem like an idiot for not being all high-tech and shit. You know, some of us actually have to live in the real world, you know?
Yeah, the real world that collapsed from technology.
Yeah,
You know, that big thing that is a part of this world.
yeah. And some of us never got to experience it, so we just saw the whole world collapse around us because of stupid people that decided to use their shit and cause the world to collapse. So pardon me
you don't even know what happened then.
I mean...
No. You seem very intent on this, so tell me your side of the story. What happened to our world?
Well, people stopped focusing on the outside world, on whatever the little inside VR type shit that they were in, and then things just... pew! And then they stopped giving a shit about everyone in the real world. Causing us to have to fend for ourselves.
How did that happen?
I don't fucking know.
And I just like do that, snap my fingers and point. There's your answer.
So do none of us know? Is that the whole thing?
No, some of us know.
Yeah, because you're in your little psychic, hallucinatory, virtual reality world. It's probably where it all started.
Ashley stops there, takes a very deep breath, turns back around, and goes toe to toe with her, and just
Flies
says,
reaching into her boot.
"Why are you kneeling down? I can't talk to you like that."
Oh no, I'm not kneeling down. My foot is up like a flamingo and I'm reaching into my boot.
Okay. Ashley turns around, goes toe to toe with her, and just says, "You have zero idea of the kind of shit that I've seen, so please don't go making assumptions about me." And then turns back around and keeps walking.
Realize holding her pistol in her hand and she's like, "Yeah, me too. You're the one that started making assumptions."
Wait, you're pointing a gun at me now?
No, I'm not pointing it. It's just in her hand, like on her side. Ready if she needs to be. But she has it in her hand.
You both are very odd.
I think seeing her take a fucking gun out, Ashley's going to just start to break off and says,
Wait, hold on. I can't
Maybe-
hear. My ears broke. Ah!
This is a normal occurrence.
do it.
Hey, what's Joanne doing?
Hello?
Hello.
"Hello."
Ah!
Did you hear us?
Of course it's right now. Hold on, I gotta get my other
You got
headphones.
this, girl. We believe in you. Hey, what's Joanne doing?
So, Joe was just gonna let this go out to, with the south out, but with the gun and actually just going off by herself, like, Ashley's the one I trust, so she's gonna go with Ashley.
2 seconds. I am so sorry. Okay, hello?
Hello.
"Hello."
Okay, I'm
Hello.
back. Yes, I can hear
Welcome
you.
back.
Continue.
Of course, right then.
Continue,
Yeah.
Duke.
Yeah, because Joe's gonna go with Ashley, because July's pulling a gun. Over a simple
Mhm.
argument, it's like, best not be near her.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Well,
Ashley's not gonna want to be around someone who wants to kill her, so she's gonna be like, you know what, never mind. Just holds her hands up, backs away, and cuts off.
Yeah, don't get in my fucking face again.
Ashley's gone.
Ashley has gone off on her own.
July will also go off on her own.
Which direction is July going?
Probably doubling back down to try and get a further look at, like, in between the buildings and all that type of shit. Kind of
Okay.
the hidey spaces that, usual drug dealers would be at.
Sounds good. Since Harvey stepped away for a moment, I'm going to focus on.
I'm actually back.
Oh, well, welcome back. Harvey, 2 of the meatbags have stormed off ahead of you while you have been making your guided tour pace. The 3rd meatbag has decided to double back in the opposite direction after they had a short verbal altercation. The party has effectively split, and you still have the safest route in your HUD. So the question is, as the group is splitting off, what are you doing in particular? And then I'm going to focus on July wandering off.
I'm going to kind of go toward Ashley and Joanne and go, I told you, no wander off on the tour. I guess she got bored. We might have to go after her.
I know you're mostly in the Neuroscape right now, but she pulled a gun on me. And I'm not looking to get shot. So
We'll just replace
I
the
gave her
arm.
distance.
Whatever she chooses, we'll just replace.
What?
That's what?
No, I literally didn't catch that. Replace
whatever,
what?
Whatever she shoots, they'll just replace.
Oh. No.
I mean, robotic arms are much easier.
I know all about robotic arms.
So you don't want to have one?
No, I don't.
Your loss. Shall we continue?
What is the safest way to the tower? Or, I'm sorry, what was I getting from the... What did I get from my search again?
Which search in particular?
when I was searching for higher end hardware, you mentioned that the animatronics needed to be
Oh no, I told you the information that it was animatronics being made by Sunshine Industries.
right.
That's what you got.
Okay. What's the safest way to the tower? I'd like to look for some hardware.
Well, follow me. Now, if you look over there, there's tilt-a-whirl.
There is a tilt-a-hurl.
Mhm.
It looks much more sophisticated. There are built-in neurocasters that fix onto your head as you are strapped into the device. That way you get to see a wonderful, surreal 3D landscape. And it also has a built-in puke bag to catch any unwanted projectiles from the amplified G-forces and the Mach 4 spinning that this device goes through.
All right, now we just have 2 lefts and a right.
Yep.
You know that thing smells nasty. Joe's just gonna kind of point to it as they walk by.
There are also a couple of broken down concession stands that have like various treats in them. They look like they were not person operated. It looked like there were drones or robots that had operated them, and they have gone offline, still connected to their little carts. There's like the smell of stale popcorn and hot dog water, but outside of that, these drones don't look like anything too fancy for Ashley to want to take. But, you know, she might be able to scrap some parts off of them if there was time. But it would also require telling Harvey to stop long enough to look at them.
Now, you do know Twinkies don't have an expiration date.
Are there blinkies?
Only grow balls.
Only grow balls?
No. Honestly, a grow ball's not worth the risk of setting off security.
Yeah. For those who are not aware, grow balls are these gross coconut coated pastries, because who the fuck likes coconut on their pastries? It's awful.
Mhm.
I
coconut
like
in general.
coconut.
So I will say there's a brief moment when where Ashley considers trying to disassemble the machines in search of a maybe. But I feel like she's definitely going to find something at the tower where the drones actually get their maintenance done.
Alrighty. So are you continuing on, or are you going to mess with them?
I think continue on.
Cool. So there's probably about 10 minutes of walking for you all before you get to the other end of this theme park. It probably would have taken longer in a happier time when you had to navigate through crowds and slowing down to look at all of the concessions and things, but now that you're moving with a purpose and having a guided path that would avoid any real hazards or things in the way, it's not long before you come face to face with this tower. And from the entrance, it looked a lot bigger, but now it's been very much a trick of proportions and shaping and a lot of hollow interior. But you do see that while this tower has tilted and a lot of the fixture has worn away, it does look like the structure is still very much a structure, and the tower gate, large double door, has fallen away, and slightly inside of that there's an elevator, and the elevator has a card reader on one side of it, and it looks like it can go up and it can go down into the ground. The card reader is currently showing red.
Harvey, do you know if maintenance is up or down? Is there like a little map?
I mean, I did pull out the blueprints.
He pulled up the theme park map.
I said I pulled up the blueprints.
Well, you pulled up the theme park map.
Fair enough.
Would you like to
I.e., we
would you
make
like
another
to dig
roll.
deeper?
Oh, of course I will.
Yeah, give me another roll to dig deeper. Going
Can I assist? Is there that a thing in this?
There is assisting, and I want to say, since you're in the Neurocaster as well, I will say that it is yes. Helping rolls. Up to 3 other travelers and NPCs can help you with a die roll. Each person helping you gives +1 die, but they need to be in a position to actually support your action in a concrete way. I have the final say. So, you tell me how you're helping, and it has to actually be something more than just going, "Go, Harvey, go."
Yep. So, if I understand correct, Harvey can only connect to global networks, i.e., public access areas, naturally, anyway.
BDS.
Yeah. So I'm going to use my Neurocaster as a jumping point for them to access the local security network, or this more local network.
Alrighty. Well then,
whatever that may be.
Harvey, you're getting 1 additional die for this roll. It's going to be wits plus your processor plus hacker. So, and I'm gonna say that this needs, because you're looking for not public records at this point, so there is a little bit of a firewall to get through. So it's gonna be 2 successes again, because you got into the security the first time with 2.
Oh boy, that could have been bad if you didn't get 2.
Oh, it would have been terrible.
That would have been we're just sitting there and there's just darkness behind us, like silhouetted behind us, and then just all these red dots coming online in the darkness.
Oh, it's the Ivory Sniper. Just one security guard all in the tower just to take out who's there.
Initiate self-destruct.
Yeah. So, specifically, you're in a really good spot to be able to hack into this. It probably wouldn't have been viable if you had been anywhere else. But there is a network jackpoint for the 2 of you to be able to get into. When you dig deeper from the base layer of the map, you are able to see now all of the access tunnels, the maintenance routes, the security panels. We joked about it before, but the actual ivory tower tunnels that run underneath. And there is a maintenance area that runs deep underground connected to this elevator. But this elevator also goes up. It goes up all the way to the top of the tower, and it does seem to be that there is a suite located at the top of the tower.
Now, can I do one more roll and figure out how the drones are piloted?
I'm sorry, one more time. I don't know why I zoned out there. What did you ask me?
I can tell you that.
I was kind of curious if I could figure out how the drones are piloted.
Ashley can tell you that, because I did the roll for that already. You don't need to start looking at that. The drones here are autonomous. They were designed that way.
Correct.
Oh.
They generally return for maintenance below the surface. I was originally thinking that that would be where I can find some really high-end hardware that they add to it. But if there's a suite, I'm guessing there's also some really high-end hardware up there too. So up or down doesn't matter to me.
I got a question.
Mm-hmm.
If we get to the security office, could we by chance mark ourselves as part of the security team so they won't bother us if we do something?
I hold up the key card.
That is certainly a possibility.
When the key card only work on doors, though.
Is that what we want to do,
Yeah.
Joanne?
If you guys aren't opposed, I think so.
You're gonna need your neurocaster for that.
You guys are better with them than I am.
Do you have your neurocaster?
She left it in the
It's
car.
back at the car. I was a bit worried about what we find here.
On that note, we'll cut to July, because it's been a little bit of time since she separated from the others. July, you took the opposite route, which unfortunately is also the same direction the security drones had been going. But you weren't in a neurocaster, so you didn't really know that. Ticked off as you are that your newfound friends had turned out to not be quite on your side.
They weren't really friends.
Newfound friends, in quotes.
Newfound acquaintances, we'll say.
Yeah. You continue on, and in your search, because we both know what you're actually looking for,
Hey.
it doesn't take long for you to find a familiar marking on one of the walls. It kind of indicates a direction for you to move and a place for you to look. And before long, you find yourself walking into the bathrooms of this half of the theme park. And the lights kind of flicker for a moment, but you hear the soft sounds of music coming from a boombox. And when you step deeper into the bathroom, you see that the back wall had been knocked out. And the area had been made into a kind of common area drug den. And sure enough, there's a guy sitting on a couch with a neurocaster on his head, a tube wrapped around his arm, and a needle stuck in a vein. And there's two others that are sitting listening to music while one of them is dismantling the head of an animatronic robot. The two that aren't currently strung out look up, and one reaches behind his back and the other puts out a hand and says, "Whoa, hold on. Hiya, you look lost."
Oh no, I'm not fucking lost. Thank God, someplace that seems somewhat normal.
Normal. Sure.
To me, at least, yeah.
You looking to score?
It depends on what it is. Not any of that psychic shit. And she, like, points over to the guy with the neurocaster on.
Ah. You don't look like the type that wants moon dust anyways. You look like a
Don't
real
know what that-
aficionado.
Yeah, I would say so.
So what's more your speed then? You want something to shoot?
Honestly-
You want something to smoke? You want something to snort?
Anything. Anything. What do you have?
How much do you have?
70.
The two of them kind of look at each other again, and I need you to make a wits roll, please.
Okay.
Because I'm assuming you said 70 out loud.
Yeah.
Would you like to push?
Yeah.
You can only re-roll one. Okay. The two of them kind of look at each other, and there's a moment
I do still have my gun in my hand too.
Yeah, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Because it doesn't put them on edge at all. And there's a moment where the two of them exchange looks, and whether it's your excitement for getting a score or just not being too keen on it, it doesn't seem like you've noticed that there was a fourth person in the room. And they're like, all right, come on. We've got some over here. 70 will be fine. And
No, you fucking bring it to me. She like leans against the wall.
the one says, huh, you're a hard customer. All right, we'll bring it to you. And leaning against the wall, the guy reaches into his pocket and he pushes a button, and through the very cheap wall, two robotic hands burst through and grab you. Hey, guess who's going into combat by yourself?
Hey. She's
Look.
like, are you fucking serious?
I could not in my right mind see anyone be like, hey, please don't start dredging up bad stuff for me, and then see that they've pulled a gun on me. I'm just gonna be like, okay, I'm backing away.
No,
you do what you want.
Yeah.
You responded appropriately. There's nothing wrong with your actions.
Same July's thinking the same thing.
Yeah, so let's jump over into the combat rules, because this is going to be fun.
Ooh.
I mean,
we don't
actually have to go into combat, really. The arms kind of burst through and grab July around the waist and kind of lift her up just enough that she's restrained, and the two get up off their feet. And...
Oh, real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, instead of saying, are you fucking serious, she's gonna be like, oh, kinky.
Perfect. And one of them laughs at that. He's got a knife in his hand. The other one has a pistol of their own. But they walk over and they say, you got 70, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Where you keep it?
Wouldn't you like to know?
You
can always take a look.
You want to give me a roll?
Yeah. What will the roll be?
Empathy. God, I really wish these were better described. Yeah. It's your people person skill. Persuade, charm, or trick.
So I have a talent that's con artist, and you get plus 2 dice when rolling for empathy to bluff or tell a lie.
Yeah. Do you think this
Cool.
applies?
Yeah, she's definitely low-key bluffing, but also not at the same time. She's totally down to do whatever to get this shit, but... Okay.
Okay, perfect. This is an opposed roll, however. So I'm going to pull up some stats and make my roll. Not personal threats. Where are you? Violent threats.
Also, at the same time, she would say, when he goes like, oh, you only have 70, and she's like, oh, you can take a look, that kind of stuff, she'd be like, I may only have $70, but I have other stuff I can give.
Haha. Okay. That looks like that's more than convincing for them, and they say, we might be able to work something out, and you might be able to, well, maybe not walk out of here, but you'll be alive.
Even better.
And he does actually produce, we're just going to say it's alternate 1990s super cocaine. He just produces
Cool.
a bag of alternate 90s super cocaine, and he holds it out and he says,
Can I take it beforehand?
"You gonna party?
Yeah.
My friend's gonna hold on to your gun, though."
I'd rather hold on to his. Wink.
This is super cocaine. It's cocaine mixed with super.
It's only got 5% baby laxative. Yeah, all right.
And she'd drop her gun. She'd just,
Mm-hmm. So
yeah.
this is one of those wonderful fade to black moments
Yeah.
that will take place. And congratulations, July, you have acquired a bag of super cocaine. You have also learned that, God, I need to make names for these guys now.
Yeah.
Mob name generators, hell yeah. Oh my God, why is it asking me so many questions? I just need names.
Jax with an X.
It's gonna be, what'd you say it was? Gax?
Jax, Jax.
Jax? I'm gonna say Jax. Oh God, these names are all terrible.
I can come up with another one.
Gavin. Ugh.
We do, Gavin.
Jax, Nico, and Gavin. Gavin is the robot.
No.
No?
She would not let a robot touch her.
Well, the robot is what grabbed you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
But on the in the
Jackson-
other sense.
Jax and Nico are the two that are talking to you.
Yeah.
The third human is too coked out on
Yeah.
Moondust to.
He doesn't
be
even
paid.
have a name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's too high to have a name.
He's too high to have a name. Listen, he's a buyer, not a supplier. He's not important enough to get in on the action that they're getting. So don't even worry about him.
Exactly.
And I mean, come on, they can use the bot in interesting ways.
No, she would not let that happen. She would literally, if it's for restraint, that's all she would allow.
Yeah, it's very clear she is not down to clown with the robot. But this is one of those fade to blacks where we don't need to work out the details, but you have acquired super cocaine. And
have I acquired some type of rapport with them too?
that was what I was getting at when I was going to name them. By the end of it, you actually end up finding out that Jax and Nico are actually not psychotic killers, and while they had very much intended to rob you, they probably weren't going to do anything else untowards until you had offered, at which point it's consensual and then it's no longer gross.
Yep.
But
she would make sure she still leaves with her money.
you didn't pay them.
Yeah.
You paid them, but you didn't pay them.
Yeah.
So you have acquired super cocaine, and roughly the same 15 minutes have passed because, they're not in it for the marathon, they're in it for the gratification.
But 15 minutes still seems a little too long for these two guys that probably have never gotten anything in their life.
Trying to get you back with the group.
I know, I'm kidding. I'm joking.
It's like trying to get you back with the group.
No, I know.
It's going to be so tragic when we leave here and your new friends are gunned up by those active drones now.
Very, very true.
Don't worry, the press we use to repair other drones.
I believe the term is meat shield.
Harvey.
They're not friends, they're expendable.
Harvey. You're jacked into the security sensor goes off again. Much like the first time where a security alert had been activated, now another one has gone off. and it says, Alert 47, unauthorized fornication in bathrooms.
Oh my god. You said they broke out a wall and there's a different area.
Yes, but it's still part of the park.
Okay.
But it does say unauthorized fornication in bathrooms.
That implies that there's authorized fornication in the bathroom.
Can I
think that's
change it
worse.
to authorized? Can I use hacker to change it to authorized?
Absolutely. Please roll me a hack roll. It is a difficulty one.
It was authorized by July herself.
That is true.
I just want this to be all ones,
Oh,
so the
no.
drones come by with buckets to just toss them at them.
Oh, no.
Holy
Not at all.
fuck! Another set of sixes. Nice. So
Yeah.
you
Well,
do
Harvey's the devil.
you do set it to. Yeah, that's weird that it's happened twice now. It doesn't happen often, but it's weird that it's happened more than once.
Yeah.
So you are, and I'm just going to go ahead and just determine what this one is for the sake of it. You are able to keep the drones from flying in to murder them for their unauthorized fornication. You set it to authorized fornication, which is a classification that did not exist until this point. So now the drones are like, oh, I guess that's okay. And for the second success, a new protocol, which has been designated fornication cleanup, has been activated. And from where you guys are, the elevator activates and starts to descend from where it was. And after about a minute of slow grinding its way down, the doors open up and a drone that looks very much like a butler. The clothes are in tatters, but it has like a metal mustache, and its human features have started to deteriorate away, much like Bjornbot of old. But it is holding a mop and bucket, and it says, "Pardon me, there is fornication to clean." And it just shoos its way past the three of you and starts marching its way dutifully towards the location that needs to be cleaned up.
Real quick.
Surprised that didn't happen sooner connected to the internet.
Real quick. Can I also try and take their gun?
Yeah, actually, if you want to give me that roll, it is going to be another opposed roll, but it will be your
Agility
versus their wits. And yeah, let's see what happens.
Oh, fuck. I do want to push it.
Would you like to push it real good?
Yeah. How many is that? 4?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I do believe they had 3.
Oh, no.
It matches. Hold on. Now I have to see what happens if we match on an opposed.
If she would, if they were to try and, like, mention it, she'd say that she's just trying to move it out of the way to make it more, intimate.
You got the gun, but no bullets.
In a situation where both opponents are equally active, both are allowed to push the roll. I'm gonna push.
Does that
Why
mean I
not?
can push my push?
Nope, you only get the one pushing. You have to take
Okay.
the result. In the case of a tie, the conflict has no clear winner. A compromise needs to be made. That's fair. And I actually like your excuse, which in the moment they would not question, because why would they? So, yeah, that's perfectly
men.
fine. That you know of. But either
Well,
way,
I would know
You would.
eventually.
at this point. So, the three of you see this butler bot carrying this mop and bucket that very much has absolutely filthy looking water in it and probably no cleaner. And it just says, "Fornication to clean, pardon me." And it just shoos you out of the way and starts marching its way towards where this bathroom would be. Is there any interest in figuring out what the fuck that means?
Nope.
Nope.
That sounds like a lot of trouble.
Joanne, what's happened to you?
This is a very different Joanne. Oh, Joanna.
I'm waiting on one more response.
Oh,
Is there any
no.
desire to go see what that robot is going to clean up?
No.
Fair enough.
Like,
There is an elevator directly in front of you. The doors
Yeah.
start to close.
yeah, something, yeah.
I'm in. Oh, let's go.
That's 1 in.
To the elevator.
2,
In the elevator.
3. There's a card reader on this side as well, because security doors don't like to get punked by people who just slip their way in an open door.
I use the security card.
You use the security card. The up pad and the down pad are still visible and can now be selected.
I'll hit the up pad. You have enticed me with the up arrow.
The ding dong bing bongs.
Now that already happened.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true. Anyways, the elevator goes up. Much like when it descended, it is very slow going. There is a sound of gears getting stuck on rust and lack of oil to keep the... Oh god, this is going to sound bad. The shaft from being able to properly move and carry the... It doesn't sound any better the more I say it. For the elevator to be able to be brought up to the top floor. There we go, I did it.
To become erect?
To become...
Repeatedly goes,
For
I
the,
believe your shaft needs to be lubed.
for the load to reach the peak. That was what I was struggling with. So there is a small ding, and the doors open. And what you end up seeing is a very luxurious, if not worn out from neglect, penthouse. And when I say penthouse, I mean like this was somebody's living quarters. There is a moth-eaten carpet. There are very nice looking, if not faded, couches and a chandelier, a small kitchenette. On the opposite side of the elevator doors is a large glass window that overlooks the entire theme park. And seated in a chair that would be facing that window is a very nice looking Neurocaster. You can see it sticking out over the back of the couch, and it's kind of pointed at a tilted angle towards the ceiling.
Now that is what I was looking for.
Joe's just gonna look around the room to see if there's anything that might not want us here.
Give me a awareness.
It should be a wits, which is just 3d6s.
Would you like to push?
I would. 1 success.
1 success. You're looking
Real
around.
quick,
Yup.
when you push, and you fail, is that minus permanent or no?
It is not
Okay.
not permanent, but it
But
has
for like
to be.
the rest of the time?
Yeah, it has to be
It-
healed.
Yeah, that's your
Okay.
that's your mental health basically.
Okay. Would the drugs bring that up or no? Just temporarily, I said originally, but
Yeah, and yes, Brian, it is the Cinderella suite at the top of the castle.
sorry.
No, these are valid questions to ask. So what we had discussed was it was a temporary boost, not necessarily a fix.
Yeah.
So
Cool. Just double checking.
if you would like to take them, you absolutely can. You just know that it's going to run out too.
Oh yeah, no, she took it before all that happened.
There
So
you go. Okay.
Yeah.
So she's blitzed out.
oh yeah. part of
I've
it.
been in the Cinderella
If it's a
suite.
bag,
It is
then she
actually
took, like,
kind of
half.
nice.
Joanna, as you are looking around, you see that you're looking specifically for anything that might not want you here, which is a very curious thing to ask and say to begin with. But as you're looking for any kind of threats, it looks like a gun is lying on the floor near the couch, like it had been dropped and landed there. It does not look like there's anything hostile, but for the briefest moment, you see motion from the couch to another chair. It is just a small black blur. And then it's gone.
Down on the floor, and I thought I saw something small. Joe's gonna put her hand in her bag so it's just on her axe at the moment and just kind of walk towards where she saw the small black blur move.
Yeah.
Slowly, carefully.
You're moving towards the chairs?
Yep.
As you step closer to the chairs, you see there is no dark object, no black blur at this chair. What you do, however, see is seated on the couch where the Neurocaster is a desiccated body. Whether the individual is alive or dead is unclear, but they're seated back in a reclined position. Their clothes are faded and moth-eaten. At one point, probably a very nice suit that would have cost so much money. Pristine white, a little sun emblem pinned to the lapel of it. Hair is faded, gold, wiry. Long fingernails have curled in on themselves. But this high-end Neurocaster is set upon this woman's head, and it seems to still be on. But looking closer, it looks like her throat has been slit, and there's a knife embedded into her chest, making it much more clear if she's alive or dead now. I know I said it wasn't clear before.
Okay, she was murdered. Pulling the axe right out of the bag.
Question.
Answer.
Is there any identifying features? I know she is kind of desiccated, but is there like a name tag or anything?
There is a sun pin on her white suit.
Another
Is
question.
this Mrs. Sunshine herself?
Possibly.
Would that be... would that be empathy or wits?
It would be wits.
Wits.
Is that the bite of 87? Wow. Look at you with your high rolls.
Hey.
Hey. Well, you are one of the few people that have had the pleasure of meeting the awful woman that is the owner of Sunshine Industries. Where's my fucking things from the Flood book? So I can give you her actual name.
I had it written down somewhere too. So many notes.
Noted.
Just look up in an old game file. What's Evil Bitch's name?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you'll find one.
I mean, I could go through that, but I don't know if you ever marked it down on that one, did you?
I don't know.
Also, the real important question is, why are my files separated from each other?
I know the cyborg lady's name is Michelle.
Michelle.
It's not the assassin lady. Or not the cyborg, no. This was real bad lady. The
I want to say
mastermind.
it was Judith? Sunshine Farm. Your name was... Bitch, where are you?
That's quite a name.
Ashley, is that bitch? Where are you?
There she is. Bitch, where are you? Oh my god, where was her name? You would think a prominent figure in this reoccurring series would not be forgotten already.
Her sister's named Ima here.
It was Judith. Judith Jackson.
Okay.
Judith Sunshine Jackson. This is quite possibly the corpse of Judith Sunshine Jackson.
So I just kind of like I do that thing like where I lean in and it's very obvious there's that look of recognition and it's like, well, Miss Sunshine, looks like someone got to you before me. Well,
You notice there's something in her hand.
I'm gonna look and see what that is.
Clutched in her cold, dead fingers is a handful of red hair.
Meow.
And that's where we'll stop for tonight, because we have to do experience before we call it a quits. Okay, so end of session. Where is our thing?
Is that going to be the new Outlook song?
Yeah,
End of
it
session.
is.
And
It is, and I expect you to have a musical score to go with it. Let's see. Journey. Ending. No, probably not ending the journey. Where's the...
Yeah, dang it.
well, we can't use the song closing time because that one's out of date.
Yeah, it's not not there yet. Ending the session. There we go. So, at the end of the session, the travelers may have resolved things. The entire area might be burned to the ground, or you might still be in the middle of the action, which we are. In any event, the travelers learned something and get a chance to improve their attributes and acquire new talents. If the situation at the stop was not resolved, the game continues there in the next session. When the travelers reach their destination, or die before they get there, the journey ends. That's not helpful. I wanted to know about experience. That wasn't helpful. That wasn't what I wanted at all.
I think we do.
Oh, here we go. I found it. After each session, have a debriefing in the group. If you don't have time, start the next session with the debriefing instead. It will work as a summary of the previous session. During the debriefing, each player in turn tells the group how their traveler has acted according to their dream or their flaw, or both. At least once during the session, let other players and the GM discuss and comment. If the table agrees that you have followed your dreams or flaw, I have the final say as the GM. You then choose one of the 4 attributes that best represents what you feel you have learned during the session about yourself, another traveler, or the world. Then roll 1 die. If the result is higher than your current score, the attribute is increased 1 step. The attribute increases can also increase your maximum hope or health score with an equal increase of current health or hope. If the roll is equal to or lower than the attribute rating, you instead gain a new talent. You can choose any talent listed on page 56 or even create a new one, but you must justify how you have learned it based on something that happened in the game. So, since she went off on her own, we'll start with July.
Well, my dream is to get enough money to buy a new motorcycle and get away from her previous life. But her flaw is that she's a junkie and she's addicted to drugs and will do anything to get that instant high. So I think she did that.
I feel like that happened. Does anyone disagree with that?
Nope.
All right. What
Perfect.
What role are you going to try and improve that best reflects her flaw in needing to score drugs by any means necessary?
I think in this scenario, wits, because she needed to be more aware of her surroundings before having to do this shit.
Fair enough.
So
you just
and
rolling a d6, and you have to try and get higher. And if not,
my wits is before the drug debuff is
count.
2.
It's your base stat.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that's higher. Definitely. It was 2.
Yep, you can increase the wits to 3.
And then I don't know what you meant by the other thing with health and hope and all that shit. And the talents. I completely zoned out.
The combination of certain attributes will increase your hope or your health. So if your wits and whatever the other empathy increase to an even number, it should increase your hope as well. Because it's the 2 combined divided, I think.
Yeah, it did.
Okay, so
it went
your maximum hope would go up as well.
Okay.
The other thing was if you failed the roll, you would get to pick a talent instead, but it has to reflect what you learned. You couldn't pick the talent to operate a machine gun.
Oh yeah.
Because you had a threesome.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, Shay.
So her dream is to basically fix what she can of the world and protect people, and finding the probably highest in Neurocaster she can possibly find is a big step towards that. Her flaw is survivor's guilt, so I don't think she's gonna. I don't think she stood up to that because
you followed your dream by being motivated to find technology.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So, which ability do you think reflects that?
Probably the wits.
So please roll your wits, because I don't think anyone disagrees with that, right? She was absolutely after it. Okay, your wits can go up as well. And check your attribute combination to make sure your hope didn't go up. How about Harvey?
Oh, I believe my dream was to make the world a better place. I did install a new protocol for cleanup.
You know what? That's valid. You at least made it better by not letting those 4 get murdered.
I'm also going with my flaw, which is I don't care for humans.
You definitely showed that as well. You didn't take any concern in July leaving.
Or threatening someone else with being shot.
That's also true. What ability do you think best reflects that? God help you if you say empathy.
I was going to say empathy.
No,
But I feel like it would affect it in a bad way.
yeah, you showed no empathy. Your wits, however, was being utilized a lot.
Yeah, but that's already at 6.
I don't think there's a cap, is there?
The cap is
Okay.
6.
Oh, well then.
Is that just during creation, or
You pick because you would basically roll a d6, but it's going to be matching or under, so you pick a talent instead.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean,
You didn't
could be
really-
a lack of empathy in learning.
But you didn't learn. It wasn't really reflective of you learning something from it. The ability improvement would be you getting better with it.
Fair.
I would say a talent is viable, however.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can pick a talent in place of it, because it's not like you just miss out on anything. Joanna.
so her dream is that she's being pulled to Stillwater. Something's calling her to return, and they are going up the tower to get supplies, make that easier. Would that count?
You did find something very much connected to Stillwater at the top of that tower.
I think her wits would be what gets affected.
Okay. We're a very wits-heavy party here.
Well, it is the beginning, and we do need to get the lay of the land.
I
Yeah.
mean, we're a very wits-heavy party.
Ah,
What is her
wits
base
can go
score?
up by 1.
Okay, perfect.
3.
Alrighty.
It's now 4.
Well, then that concludes everybody, and it's just in time for us to actually wrap up.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine these would go longer in the future, but for now, this was perfect. Good job, everybody.
Yay!
You said talents were on 57, right?
56.
Yeah, 56.
56.
I would say
Um,
data miner's probably a good one for you.
Data miner probably would work really well. You even suggested it for the hacking.
Or hardened, because you don't care about anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's also valid. Page 65.
It's 56.
No, I was looking at reducing
Oh.
tension from a talent.
Okay, I was like-
a talent that would have been really good for July.
Yeah.
The lone wolf, I think it was. Yeah, lone wolf. Reduce tension, page 65 on your own, without another traveler present.
It's fine.
No, I'm just saying it looked like
yeah.
that would work for her, considering.
Yeah. That'll be eventually.
Mm-hmm. It just seemed neat. All right, well, that's everything, everyone. Thanks for watching. We'll be back next week, barring any horrible things getting in the way. Obviously, as well, just for everybody to make a note of, Tuesday the 24th is Christmas Eve, so don't expect to play that day. New Year's...
I won't even near my computer that day.
Exactly. Don't expect to play that Tuesday. New Year's Eve is also on Tuesday. I don't know if anybody here actually does anything for it, but if it comes up, we probably won't play. I know I have to work both New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, so it is what it is. But if folks are planning to go out for New Year's, they will just not play.
Cool.
All right.
I don't
thanks.
plan that far ahead.
Yeah.
I probably will.
You'll be busy?
Yeah.
Okay, no worries. It was kind of expected, so we'll see where we go